Let's talk
Yeah.
about really what the best marketers in the world are doing, including
Mm-hmm.
you,
Yeah.
Preston, to really make a difference in AI and growth and revenue churning programs. So the operational audit, that truly is where everyone needs to start and really finding those bottlenecks that might be existing. Before teams even touch AI, you recommend this. What exactly does that involve?
From the operational standpoint, well, look at the things that you know are an inhibitor to executing on campaigns. And for marketers, historically, that's been dev teams, or
Mhm.
it's been maybe a developer who sits in marketing, if you're fortunate enough to have that. But that also, where is your tracking still lacking? And because why those things matter, and I'm pinpointing those, A, the ability to launch new campaign assets. And so, like, get into more of an iterative testing phase versus everything needs to be this grand rollout. But then also from the data standpoint, because there are more like MCPs that you can connect to now to actually help you analyze this data and find trends and patterns, if you don't have your product and website properly instrumented, then it is going to be fairly useless to try to do this kind of analysis. So you have to have the right events and attributes on those events to be able to do that analysis. So um, being able to get with your product team or your internal developer for marketing and instrumenting those things correctly, that's I think a simple ops thing that you could look at as well. And then of course how like different sales information and stages there for more B2B side are coming back into a repository that you can tap into.
I love that. And we're a strategy firm, and then we implement the strategies that we deploy or that we develop. So we're looking at things like where are we making decisions without real competitor intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
where are we missing or have underutilizing data, what workflows are still manual and should not be, where are we overpaying for insights and tools, and
Mm-hmm.
what is slowing down speed to market.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll throw out one example here that really kind of changed the game for me. And that is a combination of competitor intelligence and then like a full breakdown of, your own funnel and then how you make sense of all that. So in Claude Code, I was able to connect data for SEO, which is has a combination of the LLM, how brands are getting mentioned in LLMs, of course, the SERPs, the AdWord information, all that kind of stuff, right? So you pull that in, and you have it compared against like whatever 2, 3, 4 competitors, however you want to do that, and then use Firecrawl and pull in the actual page content that is being referenced in those places. But then you combine that with skills, and there's a number of different skills out there that you can load into Claude Code to make sense of all this data. And one of the examples of that, and this wasn't just like an audit of one of the sites I was working on in the funnel, but it was also going, hey, look at the LLM mentions, go into those actual forums, see what is being cited, see where I need to show
Wow.
up, and how I can actually be mentioned there. Because people may think, oh, I need to just go comment in Reddit. Well, no, there's actual like seasoned Reddit forums or posts that may actually be getting the weight, not
Wow.
just any old mention in Reddit. So that right there gives you a targeted place to go that's not just kind of spray and pray, or whether it's a YouTube video or that kind of thing. But that all like cut down the time and the guesswork very quickly. I mean, this is all research that took place in like 15, 20 minutes. That was mostly once it was all set up, it was a matter of asking the right questions.